A deep hum vibrates in the dark, slow, heavy, like a heartbeat beneath the earth. Then a flicker of light, a spark tearing through the silence. Shadows move. Time feels frozen. In every story, there's a moment. The moment everything changes. When an ordinary life collides with an extraordinary purpose. When doubt meets destiny. When fear turns into fire. They said it couldn't be done. They said the odds were impossible. But history isn't written by those who accept limits. It's written by those who break them. This isn't luck. This isn't chance. This is discipline forged in pressure, dreams built from dust, and victories carved through failure. Every frame tells a story of resilience. Every sound echoes a fight that no one else could hear. Because behind every triumph, there's a storm. And behind every storm, there's someone who refused to give up. The journey begins now. This is not just a story. It's a statement, a vision, a spark that ignites everything. Many of us didn't grow up surrounded by wealth. We learned to stretch a dollar, to make ends meet, to dream about someday. And while money alone doesn't buy happiness, it does reveal who we truly are. When a kind person gains wealth, their kindness multiplies. When a selfish person does, so does their greed. Money is not a cure, it's an amplifier. If someone is miserable and they suddenly get rich, they don't become joyful. They become more visibly miserable. But if that same person is generous, disciplined, and grounded, then abundance transforms into opportunity. It becomes a tool for purpose rather than pride. The truth is simple yet profound. Life operates on cause and effect. What we plant, we eventually harvest. If we sow wisdom, we reap growth. But if we plant recklessness, we harvest regret. Every decision compounds. Every dollar spent or saved is a seed that shapes our future. Over the years, financial experts have discovered a pattern, a set of timeless habits that anyone can adopt to build real wealth. These aren't tricks or shortcuts. They're principles rooted in patience, discipline, and self-awareness. If you practice them consistently for 10 or 15 years, you will see your life transformed. There are 5 of these principles, each one simple, each one powerful. Together, they create the foundation of financial freedom. The first is intentional planning, creating a written budget. Most people drift through their finances without direction, wondering where their money went. But those who succeed tell it where to go. A budget is not a prison. It's a plan for freedom. It's a roadmap you draw before the month begins. A way to manage your money on purpose instead of by accident. Imagine you worked for a company called You Incorporated. If you handled that company's finances the same way you handle your own, would you keep your job? For most people, the honest answer is no. Disorganization, impulse spending, and avoidance quietly sabotage even the hardest workers. But the beauty of this principle is that it can change instantly. Today, decisions build destiny. You can decide right now to take control. It doesn't require wealth or privilege, only willingness. Whether you use an app or a notebook, the act of writing a plan transforms chaos into clarity. Because when you stop drifting and start deciding, your life begins to shift. The second principle is freedom from debt. Debt is a thief that robs not only your income, but your peace. It disguises itself as convenience, but enslaves those who rely on it. Ancient wisdom said it plainly. The borrower is slave to the lender. Every payment we owe is a small chain. The car loan, the credit card, the student debt. They promise comfort but deliver captivity. The average car payment in America now hovers near $500 a month. That single expense, if invested over a lifetime, could grow into millions. Yet, instead, it vanishes into depreciation, traded for the illusion of luxury. Debt is the modern form of servitude. It keeps people working jobs they hate and delaying dreams they love. But it doesn't have to be that way. The moment we decide to stop borrowing, we begin breaking the cycle. That decision is the true starting line of financial independence. Freedom doesn't come from earning more. It begins with owing less. Because once your income belongs to you, not the bank, not the credit card company, not the car dealer, you gain power. And with power comes possibility. Breaking free from debt is not about deprivation, it's about direction. It's a bold statement that says, I will no longer work to enrich someone else's empire while neglecting my own. Every payment you eliminate is another piece of your life reclaimed. Many people think debt is just part of life. They shrug and say, you'll always have a car payment, or that's just how things work. But those are the words of resignation, not reality. The truth is, you don't have to live like that. People who choose a different path, who save, buy used, and pay in cash, discover something extraordinary. Peace of mind. When you have no payments, your income becomes a powerful engine. You gain margin, choice, and control. The air feels lighter when you don't owe anyone. But to get there, you have to make a decision. No more borrowing. No more swiping. No more trading tomorrow for today's impulse. Some families even go so far as to hold what they jokingly call a plastic surgery. Cutting up credit cards, closing accounts, and vowing to live differently because they realize something profound. The small plastic rectangles that promised freedom were actually the bars of a cage. Once debt is gone, something amazing happens. You begin to build. But not just wealth. You start to build character, relationships, and purpose. That's the third principle. Guarding your circle. Who you spend time with will shape your habits, your mindset, and even your income. There's an old saying, show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. If you surround yourself with people who complain, spend recklessly, and avoid responsibility, you'll eventually mirror them. But if your inner circle is made up of readers, learners, builders, people who challenge you, you'll rise with them. We become the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. It's not about snobbery, it's about influence. Just as parents protect their children from negative friends, adults must protect their dreams from negative energy. If everyone around you is content to coast, you'll find it hard to sprint. But when your peers are ambitious and disciplined, their momentum becomes contagious. Over time, studies have shown that your income will usually align within 20% of your closest friends' income. Why? Because habits are shared. If your friends talk about investments, you'll start thinking like an investor. If they're always in debt, you'll start seeing debt as normal. That's why wealthy people are often intentional about who they spend time with. They learn from mentors, read voraciously, and seek communities that inspire growth. It's not luck, it's alignment. The fourth principle is saving and investing wisely. In ancient texts, wisdom was linked with stewardship, the ability to hold and manage resources carefully. The wise stored choice food and oil, symbols of wealth and preparation. The foolish, however, spent everything they had. The lesson hasn't changed. If you spend every dollar you earn, you'll always live on the edge of survival. Saving isn't about hoarding, it's about creating stability. Emergencies will happen. Cars break down, jobs end, life interrupts plans. But when you have savings, life's surprises become inconveniences, not crises. An emergency fund isn't just financial protection, it's emotional peace. It's knowing that when the rain comes, and you'll have shelter. Once you've secured that safety net, the next step is investing for the future. Many people believe retirement is something the government or employers will handle. But the truth is far simpler. Your future depends on you. You have the power to build a retirement that reflects dignity, not dependence. Compound growth rewards those who start early and stay patient, because money grows the same way character does. Quietly, over time, through consistent effort and unwavering discipline. When people think of investing, they often imagine complex charts, jargon, or the intimidating hum of Wall Street. But true investing isn't about game, bling, or chasing quick wins. It's about patience, vision, and trust in time. But building wealth isn't just about numbers, it's about responsibility. Because when you manage money well, you gain the power to help others. You can fund opportunities, give generously, and transform lives. That leads us to the fifth and final principle: generosity. Generosity isn't simply about writing checks or making donations. It's a way of living. It's an open-handed approach to the world that says, what I have is not just for me. Generous people live lighter. They smile more. They attract positivity and connection because their lives are driven by gratitude, not greed. You can recognize them easily. They're the ones who stop to help, who pay for someone's meal without seeking attention, who tip extra because they remember what struggle feels like. They don't give for recognition. They give because it's who they are. And here's the irony. The more you give, the more fulfilled you become. Not because money returns in a mystical way, but because giving redefines how you see the world. It reminds you that success isn't measured by what you accumulate, but by what you contribute. Yet generosity is hard when you're drowning in debt or living paycheck to paycheck. It's difficult to give freely when your finances are in chains. That's why the earlier principles matter so much. When you live on a budget, pay off debt, build strong relationships, and save diligently, you create the freedom to give with joy. That freedom changes everything. It changes the atmosphere in your home. It transforms your stress into peace. It reshapes your legacy. Imagine the ripple effect. A person who breaks their family's cycle of debt doesn't just change their own story. They rewrite the stories of generations to come. Their children grow up watching responsibility, not recklessness, wisdom, not waste. And those children pass it forward. Money itself is neutral. It doesn't care who holds it. It simply amplifies the heart of its owner. In the hands of someone selfish, it creates division. In the hands of someone generous, it builds bridges. When people grasp this truth, something profound happens. They stop seeing money as a source of stress and start viewing it as a tool, a means to live, give, and grow. And when you bring all 5 principles together, budgeting, living debt-free, surrounding yourself with the right people, saving and investing wisely, and living generously, you discover a kind of peace the world rarely talks about. It's not about luxury or status. It's about freedom. The ability to wake up every day and know that your decisions are your own. No lender, no credit card, no burden weighing on your shoulders. Just clarity, confidence, and purpose. You realize that wealth isn't about how much you have. It's about how much control you've gained over your life. It's the quiet victory of knowing that your money now works for you, not against you. And so, as this journey closes, remember, true financial success isn't about earning more. It's about managing wisely, giving intentionally, and living with purpose. When you follow these simple but powerful steps, budgeting, staying out of debt, surrounding yourself with the right people, saving, investing, and giving, you're not just improving your bank account. You're building peace, strength, and freedom that money alone can't buy. Because wealth without wisdom is hollow. But wisdom with even a little wealth can change your life forever. Start where you are. No matter how small your steps feel, consistency beats perfection. One smart choice, one saved dollar, one act of generosity at a time. This is how transformation begins. And one day, you'll look back and realize that financial freedom was never just about money. It was about becoming the kind of person who uses it well.